I'm known for music videos. I directed and produced and wrote J. Cole's music video, Love Yours. Recently just went on an interview and said that was his favorite project. So that was, pretty awesome to hear that. But how I got the video, it was really the story of my career. So basically, I just moved to Atlanta. I listened to his album, Forest Hills Drive, in 2014. And I was like, man, this album is amazing. But I wasn't a qualified enough director to get a big video like that at the time. So what I did was I called a couple of my friends and my producers, like, listen, if we put everything together for this project and we hired the actors, we got the locations, and we filmed it like a movie, how could we get this to him? And is it possible? Everybody was like, I don't know how we're going to get it to J. Cole, but I mean, we can test it out. So making a long story short, we filmed it. And the day of the filming, everything went haywire. I mean, anything that could go wrong went wrong. The actors didn't show up on time. The locations canceled on us. I mean, things went crazy. So normally a person would just quit. And I was this close to giving up. But my business partner said, we have to do this. I feel something special about this. We just have to do it. So we ended up doing it. We finished it. 3 days later, we're in New Orleans doing a whole different project. And J. Cole walks in. J. Cole walks in the club we were in. We were partying in the club. J. Cole walks in the club. So we're like, this is crazy. I've never met him in my life. I've never seen him in person in my life. So he walks in. Not only does he walk in, he walks into our section. Because I was partying with Anthony Davis, who played for the Pelicans. So he walks in our section. He grabs the bottle. And I'm like, yo, he's right here. And I just did this video 3 days ago. It's ridiculous. I had to talk to him. So one of my friends introduced me. And one thing led to another. I told him about the project that we just did. He was like, you did a video for me? I don't understand. I said, it's a tribute to you for the song Love Yours, which is my favorite record. And he said, send it to my manager, right? Long story short, in the music industry, the first time you meet somebody is 9 out of 10, you're not going to reach them, especially somebody of that caliber, right? So one would think, how do I get this video to him now? Because I have his manager number, but he won't pick up. Everybody knows how that goes, right? A week later, I'm in Arizona filming something totally different. J. Cole's in town again. I go to the concert. I'm front row, and one of his managers, they recognized me. I went on the tour bus, and he watched the video finally, and we had 1 million views at this point. We put it out 3 days, had 1 million views, and at this point, he was like, listen, the label wants me to do a big video for this, but since you already got to this point, I'm going to let you have it. And that's how I got, J. Cole Love Yours video.
Man, I love it. I love the tenacity that you show to actually get that done. And I like the way that you just drop, kicking it with Anthony Davis, in New Orleans. And I love how you just drop getting a million views on a video on YouTube like it was nothing. And because of the, just the immense amount of work that you actually did to, get it to that particular point. So, you've accomplished stuff, and that's a great example, a great story in terms of the determination that you were talking about in terms of being successful within the film industry. And, I want to take it a step further, right? So you did the Love Yours video. Right. What happened after that, though?
Okay, so when I did the Love Your video, what I realized is everything is about social media marketing. Like, that's what I realized with that video. In the first week, we hit 7 million views. Wow. And what that showed me was his album just dropped. So that means his name was trending. We released it at the perfect time. And I did advertising on Facebook and on YouTube. So once you put all of these things together, you'll be able to get almost any project with the proper timing, a decent amount of views. Now, when something goes viral, all that is getting something to a certain point where it starts to take off on its own, starts to grow legs, it starts to get more and more attention. So that's all the goal is with any project. You want to help it grow legs so it can start walking on its own.
Got you. So you did that. And, of course, that is the subject of this 5-week lecture series called Guaranteed Digital Success, how to be successful in the film industry, leveraging social media and other things too. I added that last part. just just based on our conversation today. So if you are in Zoom tonight, so we have some attendees in here. Hey, Carla. Hey, Chad. Hey, Frank, Jason, and all the other people, John, Timothy, all the other people who are in here. If you have any questions for Peter, please go ahead and post those in the Q&A section, and we'll get to those a little later on in today's conversation. So let's just give an outline in terms of what is the course. What are you looking to accomplish with this particular course? What are people going to walk away with once they complete this training session?
Well, the first thing is what I want people to walk away with is the knowledge and the know-how to right then and there be able to produce a project that will be able to make money right away. Because what people think we need, we think we need a bunch of money to do these films and do these projects. We think we need a bunch of resources. But a lot of the time, the biggest movies that make the biggest amount of money have the lowest resources and the low amount of money. Let's take Blair Witch Project, for example.
Man, that was the first thing I was thinking of right now. Blair Witch. Yeah.
It was made with $10,000 and they made hundreds of millions. Let's take Paranormal Activity. They made it with $10,000 and they made hundreds of millions. So, it's all about strategic planning. And nowadays in 2019, we have digital social media. You can market almost anything. And what I want people to walk away from is the strategy to how to market anything, how to market their films, how to get the money for the films. And there's different steps to getting money, whether it's a smaller amount or a bigger amount. There's different avenues to going about getting resources and funding for each project. And that's what I'm here to show, because a lot of filmmakers are scared to give the game because they feel like, I don't know, it's not enough. It's not enough to go around, but it's so much to go around, so many opportunities out here. And I'm here to give you the codes that I crack.
Right. You crack these codes in terms of how to be just independent in what you do too, because you're not working for a major label, are you? You're not working for a major label, right?
Anytime I work for a major label, they contract my company to work to get the job done.
Right. So they contract you guys to get the job done when you do that. But, you have created an economic system to where, you can make things hot instead of having to worry about another third party making them hot for you. Right. And, that's what this course is all about. And I want to go through some of these myths and misconceptions that people have about, the film industry. You covered one of them already, which is you need to have a lot of money to get started or to do something of significance within the industry. What are some of the other, I guess, big misconceptions that you find that just new people or people from the outside looking in that they have?
Everything has to be perfect, right? That's a big thing that I hear. Like, I can't put it out. It has to be perfect, especially with filmmakers. It has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. My first film was so unperfect, it's disgusting to me. But at the same time, we judge ourselves way harder than we should. And anything can be perfect, anything could be improved. But what we have to understand is if it never comes out, nobody ever sees it. It never happened. If the audience never sees it, it never happened. So what we have to learn is just put it out. You want your audience to grow with you. You don't want to put out that one perfect project because that doesn't exist. If you look at any filmmakers, what they do is if you watch their first film all the way to their current film, they've grown so much. They've grown, through their techniques, through their actual art, through the actors that they used. I mean, everything just grows, and you want your audience to grow with you if you want longevity in this type of field.
Got you. Yeah. Do you find any, I guess, people who just don't think that they could do it, or it's too difficult, or they just get confused, or what?
It gets overwhelming. It gets overwhelming for a lot of people because they feel like, it's not possible. It's a dream, but they don't understand that all dreams are goals that are unset. So you have to just set your goals, write them down, and do it. It's simple. And I'm here to give the tools, the know-how, the actual step-by-step booklet and manual for everybody to now go ahead, film a project, whether it be a commercial, whether it be a movie, a feature film, series, documentary. If you want to get a hold of Netflix, Hulu, I'm going to show everybody how to reach these people and how to get people's attention with little or no money.
I love it, man. And just as a reminder to everyone watching, we're here with Peter Parkerr. Peter is a filmmaker. He knows he's perfected, I guess, or came close to perfecting the art of making high quality films with very little money and making them go viral and getting the most bang to his buck when it comes to everything that he produces. So he made, as you see in the poster in the background, the social media movie. He's also made Black Capital for us with the Black Business School. And he did J. Cole's Love Yours video, which is probably my favorite J. Cole song, because 2014 Forest Hills Drive is my favorite J. Cole album, as it is for, many people as well. So let's just hop into it in terms of step by step, right? So let's just give an overview in terms of a lot of the things, or the things that people need to do to be, to have guaranteed digital success with the film industry.
Okay, let's start off with social media, right? Let's start off with Instagram and Facebook, the two most powerful tools for any type of filmmaking or videography art, period. Okay, so what you do is you pick whatever project that you're doing. After you complete it, pick your audience. Who is my target audience? For example, my social media movie, my target audience would be a younger generation, the millennials, the people that are watching the Instagram videos of these comedians that have these millions of followers, right? So what I did was I put out advertisements with, you can put $10 on a post, $15 on a post, and for 10, it's pay per click. So you talking per click, you might pay 4 to 5 cents. People don't even know that. So literally you can get, with $20, you can get maybe 15,000 clicks. Now, depending on how your content is, depending on how interesting it is, more people will click on it. But that's just based upon your audience, who you're giving it to. Just like you wouldn't give a horror film to little babies, it just wouldn't go together. You get what I'm saying? So you find your audience, and you just sell to that one particular audience. There's advertisements, there's engaging with your audience. A lot of people I see, they don't engage. For example, ask your audience a question. When you're on Instagram, are you asking them, what did you think of the film? Or give me some opinions. People love giving their opinions online. They just want to talk about it. So what you do is once you create engagement, Instagram algorithm, what algorithm is how Instagram works, right? So on Instagram, what happens is the more engagements you get, the more your Instagram profile gets seen on Instagram. I actually ended up on the Explore page a lot anytime I drop a new project, I end up on the Explore page a lot because I do tons of marketing. Like I'll repost the same video 10 times. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes we're scared we put something out one time and expect for it to be successful. I don't know if you guys know of an artist named Fetty Wap. He had one of the biggest hit records in the last 3-4 years, right? And all he did was he promoted the same video and same record for 8 months straight. 8 months.
Wow.
He reposted that video, they said, over 6,000 times.
6,000 times in 8 months?
He DM'd DJ Envy and a lot of other people. He DM'd him just nonstop. Hey, check out this video. Check out this record. Eventually, DJ Envy even admitted, he said, I got tired of it. What happened though? He found out who he was. Mm-hmm. So that persistence. You get what I'm saying? But through social media, he kept sending DMs. Like if I have a project coming out and I have no money for marketing, say I don't have $20 to put in an advertisement, right? Why don't I DM as many people as I can? You're allowed, I believe, 100 DMs an hour, or it's like a certain number. Why am I not DMing potential people that would like my product? Like, say one of my characters on my movie has, just say 50,000 followers, right? And I go in their comment section and I see all of their following and people that are commenting. I'm going to click on one of their fans. I'm going to DM them, hey, check out my new film. I think you will really enjoy it. Simple as that. If you DM that to 50 people a day, I guarantee you you would have people either buying your film if you have it for purchase, or if it's for free, you would get a lot more views. It's guaranteed. The law is in the numbers. If I reach out to 20 people, I'm guaranteed to get at least 3 to 5. And if they like my content is really edgy and really good, which I'm gonna show you guys how to do and capture people's attention, you'll be easily getting 10 out of 20 or half of your numbers that you reach out to.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. And there's so many different things that we can go into in terms of, how does one go about, finding who their target market, their target audience is, and knowing who they are and what they are, I guess what they want, more than anything else. But we'll save that for the actual course, though, in terms of, how to actually go do that, because we need to get through the entire model. So, you have covered the piece about, finding who your audience is and connecting with them, and then just consistent promotion. And we'll go over more strategies in the course as well in later weeks in terms of how to do that too. So what else does a person need to do if they are looking to gain a massive following as a filmmaker?
Let's see. Well, as a filmmaker, it's so many films going on and so many people putting out content. We have to think of the originality of what we're doing. What makes it different, right? So what makes your film or project different than the last 100 that I've just seen or came across, or, there's ads running on almost everything nowadays. So what makes yours different? So we have to figure out there's nothing new under the sun, but there is also, everybody takes old ideas and make it their own, right? So what we want to do is we want to figure out, how do I make something that is different enough that a lot of people would love? You get what I'm saying? I'll give you a prime example. Will Smith, just this kid, this director out of Los Angeles, he just did a fan trailer. He just did a fan trailer called Fresh Prince.
Right? Fresh Prince, yep. Mm-hmm.
The trailer looked extremely good. It looked so good that it got the world's attention, and the world thought it was actually coming out. And Will Smith found out about it and flew to him to interview him, right? So that's just how it works. You get what I'm saying? You just have to know. I had this saying, right? You have to go with the flow, but know where you want to go, right? So you go with the flow things, but always know what direction that you want to go in. So it just ties back into knowing your target audience.
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting example, because I was amazed by that trailer that he did for Fresh Prince.
Right.
Another one was when the what is it called? Guys, we watched it as a kid. Power Rangers. There we go. So when the Power Rangers, I don't know if you saw that fan trailer that they did for the Power Rangers that was like really dark. Oh, you didn't? Yeah. So that's something else that went viral as well. And, going back to the Fresh Prince example, though, how much money do you think he spent making that trailer?
I'll tell you how much money you could do it for, because I don't want to say how much he spent, because he could have spent, like, say, for example, one actor in there could have charged him $2 million if he wanted to. So I don't want to say how much he spent, but I'll say how much it would cost for me to do the same production, the same level, the same value.
Yeah.
If I own my own equipment, you can do that project for that fan trailer for, let's say, under $5,000.
Wow.
Right. So, and what a low budget for a film or a low budget for a trailer is about anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 for a trailer.
That's when you go with the studios, though, right?
Right. No, not even studio. I mean, that's like on an independent level. That's what we're independently. But what I'm talking about is micro budgets. Micro budgets are, your $30,000 and less. Doing a project for $5,000, $10,000, and people think that you just have to have $5,000 up front or $10,000 up front. No, you spend it gradually. Most of the time, we spend it gradually. We're buying flights for the actors, or we're paying for hotel rooms. This money is just not a lot of times this money is just not something that you just have up front, because a lot of us don't have $5,000 to $10,000 up front. So it's just knowing where to spend the money at the right time to continue the project.
Yeah, and that's something that you wanted to cover in your course too, that we're going to cover, is this budgeting concept in terms of,
budgeting, because the old age budgeting doesn't work with the new age filmmaking in the micro budget category.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't expect to spend, $25,000 on lighting when we have a budget of $5,000. So it's how to shop for different items, and how to be creative enough to get the proper lighting for a couple $100. How to get the right 4K camera that you can rent. And I'm gonna give a list of places that you can rent from with little to no, you don't need a major credit card or anything like that. I'm gonna be showing everybody what lenses to use, what cameras to use, and at a very low cost. Because a lot of these studios are using $50,000 cameras, $100,000 cameras, and you could use a $10,000 camera and you can rent it for as little as $300 for the week.
Mm-hmm.
But we just don't know. We don't get taught these things. A lot of filmmakers don't really give us that game. And that's something that I had to learn through just trial and error and just spending. So I don't want a lot of people to make that mistake anymore. I want everybody to have equal opportunity, because this life is just all about giving back. We have to give in order to receive, and that's just what it is.
Right. Yeah, no. So, I mean, we already talked about a few different things in terms of what people are going to learn in this course. So this is the first week. We're actually live streaming it too, but all the other pieces will be specifically within the Black Business School. So thanks, for the people who have joined us tonight. If you guys have any questions who are here with me in Zoom, if you have any questions for Peter, please go ahead and post them either in the Q&A or in the chat, and we will get to them. We'll do our best to get to them at the end of this conversation. So we talked about a few different things. You talked about knowing your audience. Right. You've also talked about promotion in terms of Facebook and Instagram being, promotional gold. You talked about, how important it is to be original with the films that you make, and just whatever project that you're working on, it has to be original in the sense that, it has to be something that's different, but then a lot of ideas are still repeated, simultaneously. And then we talked about just budgeting in terms of how to get things done on a micro budget instead of, what these studios and these, big time, production offices are spending to get the same quality work done that you're actually getting for a fraction of the cost. Can you also tell the audience what else they'll be learning in this course?
They'll be learning what it takes to go viral, what it takes to get their project to 1 million views, 2 million views in a week. You get what I'm saying? The opportunity for their projects to be seen by the mass majority of people with little to no money. One of the major things I want to do is show people how to reach out to these influencers and how to get these influencers interested in a project that's not paying them. So we want to reach out to people. I'm going to show the class how to reach out to certain people that are big influencers, but I'm going to give you guys a lot of secrets on these influencers and how you really get them to budge on doing an independent micro budget project.
Got you. So who did you get in your social media movie?
Okay, so we have now Phil Hitson, who's aka I'm Tyrone. We have Fat Boy SSE. We have Tiz 215 from Philadelphia. We have Super Scent, one of the biggest influencers in New Orleans.
Super Scent, the hair care lady or the makeup.
Yep.
Now, if you guys don't know who Super Scent is, she was probably my favorite story of 2018, to be honest with you. Right. So she's a huge internet influencer in the beauty care space, beauty and hair care space. And she launched her own, I don't know if it's a hairline or makeup line or whatever. Yeah, makeup line based upon her YouTube following. And she made $1 million in 90 minutes in revenue on Black Friday of November of last year. Right. So 6 months ago, she made $1 million in 90 minutes. Just by launching her own product as an influencer. So that shows you the power of influence in terms of social media influence as well. And being a filmmaker is a great place to connect with, just a lot of different types of influencers too. And so when Peter's talking about how do you get influencers to buy into your micro budget, film product or project, that's really spitting a lot of game in terms of, the type of value that can come out of that.
Right. Because it's like, how do you get 50 million, a collection of a group of people that have 50 million followers all together? How do you get them in the same project without paying?
Yep.
And that's going to be one of the classes that we talk about. Got
you. And, the piece that's still missing to me, man, is how do you make money? How do you actually, we talk about how to spend money, how to get an audience, but how do you turn this audience into like dollars?
Okay, so let's take when I first dropped a social media move, for example. I wanted to prove a point on being able to be totally independent and doing your own distribution. So I released the movie on Vimeo On Demand. Vimeo On Demand is a platform where you can let movies out for purchase for little to no money. I think it's like, maybe $30-$40 a month or something like that. Very small money. So you put your project on there, and literally you get a link and you go out and sell it. It's simple as that. So the more influence you have on the film, the more money you get. But literally it's as simple as I send this person a DM or an instant message on Facebook or Instagram. Hey, go check out my free trailer that's out. Maybe you'll be interested in purchasing the movie. Like I said before, you send that to 50 people, you might get 10 purchases. If your movie's $10, now you're starting to get revenue. And that's only 10 people. Imagine doing that every day. Imagine doing advertisement on top of that. Imagine having the influencer shout you out on top of that. So that's one way to make money independently. Another way to make money is, which we're going to be covering in one of the classes, is how to create content and sell it to the owner. So say I wanted to do, let's say we take a product not as big as Nike, but let's say we take, let's just take Reebok, for example, right? Say I wanted to do a Reebok commercial and I want to get paid for it. What I would do is create the commercial myself, look at what's already going on, figure out what could I sell to them that could really capture their audience, right? I would film it myself. I would get, the characters or however the commercial, I would film it myself. I would send the email to their PR team, and everybody's contact is online. So everything's on Google. Almost everybody's contact is on Google. If you want to reach a celebrity, they have managers, they have PR teams, they have assistants. You find out who they are and you send them the product, because I guarantee you everybody's looking for opportunity, whether how big or how small they are. So yeah, you just reach out and you send it over to them. And once they get a hold of it, you give them a price. Hey, I just did this project for you. This is why it's going to captivate your audience. I included these things in there, and I've done it many times. It's going to sell. And that's another way to make money. And aside from pay for jobs, like I'm paying you to do a music video up front, or, I'm paying for a commercial up front. But when you do all these things on your own, when you create your own revenue, it creates opportunity for people to come and pay you because, man, you did that commercial for Reebok, or you did that video for J. Cole, not knowing how you achieve that.
Yeah, and that's interesting, right? Because let's take that Reebok example, and you've deployed the strategy how many times?
I live life off this strategy.
So you live life off it. So what do you say?
I bought off the strategy.
If you do 10 projects like that, let's say like we just described for Reebok, which you didn't do, right? I don't know if you did or not actually, but for the Reebok example, of those 10, how often does that strategy work for you?
Out of 10 projects, I'll get three launched.
So 3. So that's like really good actually, because you're talking about
all it takes is one. Listen, if you do 25 commercials for 25 major brands, and you get one to land, we're talking about a different type of, your life is going to change because you have officially put that on your resume, that big company on your resume. And another thing I'm going to teach in this course is how to take no money, but all advertisement. See, a lot of times where I built my career off first was doing free work for the right people. And I'm going to show you guys who the right people are.
Got you. Yeah. So, I mean, I hear a couple of different things. First is, I just have to get this out the way, is a lot of your strategies seem so bold to the average consumer or the average filmmaker or the average whoever. It seems so bold. Like, wait, you want me to just do all the work up front and then somebody may or may not pay me, on the back end, to do a Reebok commercial or to, do a J. Cole video and that type of thing. Like, isn't that kind of risky? Or, you talk about promotions in terms of sending 50 DMs a day to all these different people, right? And, the word that just keeps coming to my mind over and over and over again about you, Peter, is boldness, in terms of just being bold, have the audacity to do stuff like that. And then that's a big reason in terms of why you have been successful. So for the people who are hesitant to use those strategies to, get ahead, what would you say to help change their mindset to deploy some of the same strategies that you have to be successful?
Number one, scared money will never make any money. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money that you have. There's a risk in everything that we do. There's going to be a risk in everything that we do. But that's why the digital success part of my formula is so key. For example, say if J. Cole never deemed my video the official video, what happens? I just have a video with 10 million views at that point in time. Now we're at past 30 million, but I just have a video with that many views. So at the end of the day, these strategies are guaranteed going to make your name more popular than it was. So when it comes to branding, right? Branding is more important than money, because when you have a brand, you can always create an opportunity to make money. When you do not have a brand, I don't care how much money that you have, you always have to create opportunities for your brand to get bigger, right? So through these strategies, not only you may look, a perspective is, okay, I'm spending all this money up front, but you're investing in yourself because you're going to generate the views regardless. So at least you get the amount of viewership to create the opportunity. And we're in the filmmaking industry. I mean, you're not going to get anywhere just being scared to do something. I'm gonna be totally honest.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean, that makes a lot of sense in terms of, this concept of scared money. Scared money don't make money. What's that quote again?
Scared money don't make no money.
Scared money don't make money. So, that boldness really, has stuck out to me in this conversation. Also, just the amount of strategy. And I like what you said in regards to, so you make a trailer first, right? So you'll make a trailer and then see if it's hot. And then if the trailer's hot, you'll make the entire movie? Or do you make the movie first? Okay.
All right, let's talk about the social media movie, for example, because I didn't have the money to do it at first, right? So when I did the social media movie, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to create a trailer that people are going to think is before I even knew about fan trailers. I said, I'm going to create a trailer and put the biggest social media stars that I knew at the time, or that I reached out to, because I reached out to one. All it takes is one. I reached out to Phil Hitson, who's the star of the film. And I said, hey, bro, I have an idea. Random email from random person, just me. Hey, I got an idea about this movie concept. Hit me back when you get a chance. Mind you, he's never been in a film before, and a lot of these social media influencers have never been in projects before. So when you talk about putting them in a serious project, 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, wait a minute, I've done a lot of skits on Instagram on my phone, but I've never been in front of a big camera before. So that automatically triggers in their head. So if you reach out to enough people, you'll land one. And all it takes is one, because once you have one, you leverage that one to create the other opportunities. So if I have him and he has 700,000 followers, I'm going to call somebody with 200,000 followers and say, hey, I have this guy with 700,000 followers. Will you be in my film too? Because you'll gain his fan base. Okay, I would love to be in it. Now I have 900,000 followers. So then I call somebody with 500,000 followers and say, hey, I have 900,000 followers in my cast so far. Would you love to be a part of my film? Of course you would. Okay, cool. Now I'm at 1.2. You get where I'm going at with it? So that's one way to kind of leverage it with no money. And mind you, I just created that with one email, $0 spent.
Yeah, that's an excellent strategy. And I'm sure you're going to be going over a lot more strategies too. And it brings me to a question in terms of getting into the mind of a social media influencer then, right? Because it seems like you're very well attuned in terms of how they think. So with the example before, to get that first one, the value that you are bringing to the table is your skill set and your equipment and your ability to show them in a different light. Even though they have 500,000 or 700,000 followers, they've been used to just filming on their phone. So they may want some more high quality, film of themselves doing something cool or whatever. So can you take me to the mind of what how social media influencers think?
Okay, so through my experience, influencers think of how do I create another opportunity to go viral, right? Influencers make money off of advertising, people booking them for events or shows. So they have to stay busy, right? So if a social media influencer is announcing that they're doing a film, that's more attractive for their brand. The people don't have to know how big or how small that film is. They just have to know that they're doing a film. Oh, wait, he's doing a film? I never thought about him doing a film. I want to get him to do a film. So that's already going to be attractive in itself. If you say you're doing a film, nobody's going to think how big or how small. If you have 700,000 followers or how many followers, they're going to think to the level of whatever they think, which works in your advantage. So you're keeping the influencer busy and you're giving the influencer opportunity that he hasn't been offered yet. 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because I see that all over the internet. People think what they want to think, either whether good or bad, as it relates to you and your brand, right? Because, there are a lot of videos about just in money. There's one that comes to my mind of, a successful Black entrepreneur selling his company. And people thought it was for a lot of money, which was kind of, but they didn't understand all the technical details to where, that particular person wasn't getting a large paycheck on the end of it. But it seemed like he was, because people didn't understand the intricacies or the complexities of, raising venture capital and, that type of thing as well, right? And the same is true, I guess, in the film industry. I see a lot of parallels between a whole bunch of different industries coming together with film, right? Because, that's one thing in terms of just this concept of brand and the importance of brand, but then also the importance of how and when you spend your money. So I think it's so smart about you going and making a trailer first, and off that trailer, you getting more money, more opportunities, because that's what people in direct response do. That's what people in a whole bunch of different industries on the internet do. What they do is they'll create a landing page with the outlines of their product in terms of how they imagine it and see how many people will sign up and subscribe to their email list. And if there's enough interest, that then go out and build whatever it is they want to build. That's how we build courses too. We survey the audience first. We do a lot of things. Go ahead.
That's the process. That's it. It's basically if it's 1 million people that have 1 million scripts out there, right? How do I get people to see this vision in my head? Some people don't even know how to articulate it in a way where you can receive my vision the way I've received it. So I have to visually display this artwork, whether it be through artwork and then the trailer, so you can kind of see where I'm going at, so you can put up the money, or you just have to get people to see that big picture. And that's why we create these trailers and these posters and this artwork, so they can feel and touch and see the vision before we actually spend the real money.
Yeah, real estate, same way. I was just reading a couple of real estate books about these really large projects in Miami and, how they build, maybe just one unit beforehand that might cost $500,000 or $1 million or something in a trailer, so that they can sell the bigger projects, so they can continue to fund what it is that they're doing. So that's with everything. And you've done a great job in terms of applying that model to the film space. And before we move on, though, Peter, guys, if you guys have any questions who are with me in Zoom, Carla, Chad, Frank, Hameen, all of you guys, if you guys have any questions for Peter, this is the excellent opportunity to ask somebody who's really doing it on micro budgets and getting a huge ROI off of it. Please go ahead and post it in either the chat area or the Q&A area of Zoom, and we'll get to it here in a second. And Chad, I know you just posted a comment. I only see Peter's name. I don't see the entire comment. So please repost that, please. So I want to get back to this concept of brand too, in terms of branding yourself as a filmmaker, right? When I think of like people in the background branding themselves and going out to the forefront, Diddy's the first person who comes to my mind, right? In terms of thinking about like being this producer in the background, being all up in the videos, that type of thing and everything. And some people feel one way about it, other people feel another way. What is your approach to branding yourself as a filmmaker? Like Hype Williams. I remember Hype Williams back in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s when I was a teenager. I just remember, Hype Williams video came on, I was ready for it, Busta Rhymes or whoever it was, right? So what is the proper way, not even the proper way, what is the best way to brand yourself? Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So it depends on, how you start out. For example, Hype Williams, he was doing a lot of music videos at first, right? So, his music videos would, these introductions would be so crazy that you knew it was a Hype Williams video coming on. He just had he was big on colors. He was big on, just certain things that he was known for. So when it comes to projects, it just depends on what you want to be known for. Take my career, for example. When I started out doing music videos, I wanted all my videos to look like films. I wanted every single video I did to look like it was a film coming on, not a music video. So 9 times out of 10, a lot of times when you see a video coming on nowadays, a hip hop video coming on with action-packed stuff going on, dialogue going on, and you don't even see the music yet, and then the music comes on, you're like, wait a minute, this might be a Peter Parkerr film right here. You get what I'm saying? Because I branded that. You get what I'm saying? So you just want to think of the idea that you want to be known for and stick to that and do that every single time so that people can identify your brand with your work.
Got you. So, so that's how you go. Okay, that's interesting. So do you recommend like video producers being up in their own videos or anything like that too, or just find that unique?
I mean, I feel like if you have that passion, if you really have that passion, I know some directors, they'll appear in their own movies in a very small role, just certain things. They might appear in a very small role or, they may give themselves a small part like Spike Lee. Spike Lee was in, a couple of his films, you know what I mean? So it just depends on if that's it doesn't help with your particular brand as a filmmaker. But sometimes, it's a little swag to it. It's like, okay, he's one of the directors that, may show up in this film once in a while when some of your audience might like that. You know what I mean? So it just depends on the style that you want to go with.
Yeah, no, that's so, thinking about brand, who does your brand need to appeal to as a filmmaker? Does your brand need to appeal to like your particular personal brand, right? The Peter Parkerr as a person, that type of thing. Does your brand need to appeal to the general audience who's ultimately going to consume your content? Or are you looking for your brand to appeal to the influencers or the studios or Netflix or who? Like, who are you trying to? Yeah. Mm-hmm. You
can do both. There's different strategies for both. So I can take one project and implement 10 different strategies that go to 10 different groups. You get what I'm saying? So I may, out of my one film, I may set it up where I package it up, where I can send it to a studio to get some money. I send them the trailer. I send them this, I send them that. Then I might send something different to my audience. I might send a couple interviews or a couple skits that they've done to my audience. So you can take one bulk of content and create different, smaller content from that and dish it out and distribute it to different people for different reasons.
Got you. Yeah, I think that's a great idea in terms of making that happen. And right now, actually, I want to get to, by the way, everybody, we're here with Peter Parkerr. Peter Parkerr is teaching our course. in terms of guaranteed digital success, how to be successful in the film industry with little to no money on a micro budget, however you want to describe it. We have our first question, Peter, and this is from Chad. And Chad asks, have you ever considered doing a large scale project or series?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, that's the the ultimate goal. I'm actually in talk with Netflix right now and Amazon Prime with two really large projects. But I control the projects because I've created this particular situation for myself through my influence. So the point of this course is to get you to that level with little to no money. You get what I'm saying? The whole point of this course is how do we get to that large scale using what we got? Because the large scale audience, the large scale studios and Netflix, Hulu, and all those people, why would they be interested in you? And I'm going to show you why and how you get to their attention. Because it starts with the small project. It starts with your small project that get attention, get buzz, and you keep growing. You do a bigger project. You get that to some audience. You do a bigger project. And then, of course, ultimately, somebody's going to give you a serious amount of money to do whatever that you have, whatever idea you have.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that's cool. So you just keep building up project after project after project till you get what you're actually looking for. It's really till you just have the freedom to do whatever the hell you want to do on that particular front and have other people pay for it. So there's two questions in here. Crystal asks, do you think it would still be beneficial to do a fan trailer or trailer to promote a documentary?
Oh my gosh, of course. I mean, you got to think about it. Documentaries are on top of the world right now. I mean, documentaries are changing lives left and right in all different industries, in the health industry, in the science industry. I mean, just you want to create because think about it. All a fan trailer means technically is a project that is unofficial. It's not done. It's an idea. It's an idea pitch. So fan trailer is something it's just a name that they've created, but all it is an idea pitch. So you want to do an idea pitch for whatever you want to complete and you don't have the funds or resources to do. So whatever that is, if it's a documentary, if it's a music video for a big artist, if it's a series, you can do a trailer or a promo, so to speak, for any project and pitch it to people that have money, to investors, to just the people that you may want to be in the project.
Right. Yeah, no, and I think that's cool in terms of just you are being able to just do a fan trailer, a promo trailer for anything that's out there. And it shows this is the extensive level of creativity that one can have as a filmmaker, right, to do whatever the hell they want to do on that particular front. And it leads to the next question in terms of coming up with ideas for projects that you're pitching, right? So how do you go about coming up with the projects that you're pitching, the ideas for them?
Me personally, I go with two things. I go with what really moves me emotionally, and I do, what I like, because at the end of the day, I have to put in the work. And at the end of the day, I have to love what I do so that you create timeless projects for yourself that you can sell it. You could try to sell it now or 5 years from now, but it'll still have the same value versus you trying to follow a trend and trying to get that project off in that short amount of time. But then a year from now, if you don't have that project pitched already, we're done and over with that. We're not doing shows like that anymore. You get what I'm saying? So you kind of want to stick to what you like and, what's close to you. Like, for example, my first docu-film was about child sexual abuse. And actually that was on Lifetime. And it was because of, I've dealt with a lot of women in my life just I went to grade school with, I went to high school with, and they've dealt with this in their life. And I've been close friends with them. And it really just moved me how they got treated. You know what I'm saying? So it moved me in a way where I felt like I had to do something about it. And since I'm a filmmaker, the only way that I know how to bring problems to the light is to create something for people to see, to move them, right? So when we're filmmakers and content creators, we can create these pieces of work that can move people and motivate people and inspire people to do something, whether it be to do a good deed, whether it be to learn how to save money, whether it be to just laugh. You know, we can, through film and through this work, we can literally show people different emotions and bring out different emotions in people and motivate people and inspire people to live different lives through movies and film.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. And, you know, the world, and I come from the business world too, in terms of just running the Black Business School and great Black speakers. And the big word of like 2019, 2018, and probably 2017, and probably in 2020 is story. Right. And everyone is like talking about story this, story that. What's the story of your brand? What's the story of your company? And filmmakers are the ultimate storytellers, especially using visual arts to make it happen. And I like the way that you said that in terms of what is moving you, what is inspiring you. You know, what stories are you going to tell the world to get them to resonate with you and your brand, and to resonate with something that you truly, deeply, passionately care about. So I think that's pretty awesome. Let's see here. Galaxy S9 says, I'm more interested in screenwriting, or I'm more interested in the screenwriting process with the emerging markets you mentioned, such as Amazon Prime, Netflix, etc. How does the pitching process work or differ as opposed to MMP studios? I'm sure you know what that is. I don't know what that is. In terms of submitting specs, etc. Thanks.
Okay, so I mean, so many levels to filmmaking, right? So when it comes to screenwriting, right?
Actually, first, what is MMP?
Motion picture. What is it? I don't know. MMP studios, just like major production studios. Like,
oh, major. Okay, got you. Okay.
Bigger, super big budgets.
Got you. Major motion picture. Got you. Okay, cool.
So basically, if you don't have a direct contact with a major motion picture studio, you're not going to get in contact with them. They have too many writers. They have too much of everything. It's oversaturated in Los Angeles right now. The best thing that I would suggest that has worked for me and a ton of filmmaker friends of mine is, if you're a screenwriter, you pitch to producers and you pitch to directors like myself, people that are either up and coming or already have made a certain name for themselves, that are looking for new ideas. Let me tell you, we are all looking for new ideas. We are all looking for great screenwriter. I'm talking about, we are all looking for, if you can screenwrite and you say, for example, we took the social media route, right? Say you saw one of my films or you saw one of my projects and you DM me and said, hey, Peter Parker, I have an amazing screenwriter that you must check out and bring to life. We can make a ton of money together. See, me personally, I'm gonna look at that like, that's interesting. Who is this person? Maybe I'm interested at the time. Maybe, I have, some extra resources or maybe I can say to one of my other fellow, filmmaking companies or directors that would love to take a look at it. So it's all about pitching it to the right person, right? So I would really just pitch it to, like I said, young producers coming up. It's a bunch of young producers and young filmmakers coming up nowadays. And if you wanted to get it on Netflix, Amazon, when you speak about the specs, that has more to do with, the actual art of the actual filmmaking technology, like the cameras and stuff like that. And all of their websites, like Hulu, Amazon, they all list the specs on their website, like what cameras they accept, what quality they accept, what codec it has to be in, and, so on and so forth.
Got you. Yeah, I mean, another big theme, other than your boldness in terms of just going out and getting opportunities, scare money don't make money, right? The other big word that keeps coming up over and over again when I hear you speak is this, word opportunity.
Right.
And I think a big challenge, a big fear that people are having or that people have is like, am I good enough to deliver these opportunities to other people? Like, do I have enough self-confidence to make a filmmaker to, like yourself, convince them, to persuade them that they need to look at my screenwriting or my movie or my film or whatever, and not knowing that no matter what level that you're at, I think this is such an important point. No matter what level that you're at, you're always looking for new opportunities. So if someone comes to you with a new and interesting opportunity, you're definitely going to be interested if you are in that mindset of making money or progressing your career forward. Because I think a lot of people think once you reach a certain level, you don't care about opportunity anymore. And talking to you, it seems like that's not true.
It's not true. It's not true at all. We're all looking for new opportunity, but what you want to keep in mind is how can you benefit a person? How can you be a benefit, right? So no matter what industry you're in, no matter what you're trying to do, no matter who you're trying to attract into your life, how can I benefit you is what you want to live by. You get what I'm saying? When you find out how you can benefit somebody, I guarantee you they will put you in position to win.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And it seems like you do that really with everything, right? I mean, you do that when you're talking to filmmakers, you do that when you're talking to J. Cole, you do that when you're talking.
I want everybody is going to benefit one way or another, whether your name's going to get out there, whether you're going to get more views, more buzz, more branding, and making money, you are going to benefit, because if we're not benefiting, we're going backwards.
Or the final product in terms of you get to see an awesome film.
100%.
Right?
That's the end all be all. I have been a part of this amazing work right here.
Right. Cool, man. Well, I think that's all the questions that we have tonight. Thank you for.
I think we have one more.
Okay, my bad. Thanks for telling me. So, Hameen asks, I'm a screenwriter, but my plan is to make my own film. So my question is, what type of equipment should you start off with?
This is one of my favorite questions. I'm actually going to teach a whole course on this topic. I love this topic. Everybody wants to know what camera I should use or what lens I should use. Everybody wants to know what equipment, right? Okay. Number one, nowadays, most cameras go 4K, right? I've seen movies done on an iPhone X. An iPhone X. So with 4K quality. And the sound, and all it was that they bought the sound. The sound came from H4n Zoom, so it comes from a separate audio recorder. But you know, Canon has some good 4K cameras. I'm gonna show you guys cameras that are under $1,000. I mean, I shot one of J. Cole's biggest video with the now $700 camera. So, you know, I'm gonna go through the list of cameras and the list of microphones and, you know, the simplest things that you need to create the highest quality product. And it's all about lighting, and I'm gonna teach you about ISO and, you know, just the technical filmmaking techniques.
Right. You know, that's important to, you know, think about too, because, you know, my dad's a big golfer, right? He's retired now. He's a big golfer. And, you know, sometimes he gets to go out and golf with some, you know, rich, you know, pretty wealthy folk. And he has a friend that, you know, made a lot of money in corporate America and always looks the best, right? When he's out there, you get the most expensive clubs. You know, he looks the part. You know, if you go on the basketball court, you see a guy like this too that just looks the part. But then they get out there, they can't play, right? And I think that analogy goes to really just anything, especially like with film too, right? Is you can have the best equipment in the world, but if you don't know how to use it, if you don't know how to, you know, structure an idea, structure a story to get the audience interested, then none of that other stuff really matters, you know, to begin with. But, you know, if the better you get, your equipment starts to matter more. But if you're just beginning, go ahead.
And then one last point, plant this seed real fast. Okay, so just like you said with the golf, imagine a guy comes in there with a $10,000 a golf club, and you know he's swinging decent. But imagine that guy that's coming in there with that $20 golf club and he's swinging just as good. They're going to look at the guy with the $10 golf club like, whoa, this guy is like, wow. And he didn't need the expensive equipment. So a lot of the times you'll get more attention from using the equipment that is not the industry standard because it took more of this to create that picture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, you know.
Yeah. I mean, if Tiger Woods walked in that door too, whether he has a $10 golf club or a $1,000 golf, he gonna kick my behind, you know, playing golf or whatever, right? So, cool, man. So that's our last question, Peter. You know, thanks for your time tonight. So we have, 4 or 5 more lectures with you?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember if it's 4 or 5, but we're going to put the link in the description in terms of how do you sign up for Peter Parker's class. We're going to officially name the class Guaranteed Digital Success, How to Be Successful in the Film Industry with Little or No Money. right? So yeah, so if you like this, actually, yeah, I still am on YouTube. So if you like this video, go ahead and press the thumbs up button and show us some love as well. So anything else, Peter, before we get out of here tonight?
I really appreciate you guys, and I look forward to just showing you guys all the cheat codes of the film industry.
Cool. And thanks everybody, tuning in tonight too. So Peter, we look forward to speaking with you, I guess, next week. You have a great night, and everyone out here in Zoom land and YouTube land, you guys have a great night too. All right. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it, bro.